Hello friends, today we will understand the functioning of selection options available in ArcGIS Pro. So I am opening up this project that we are working on since beginning. Here I have displayed India states file, India cities file and India road file from the Geo database. So you remember last time we learned how to convert a shapefile into Geo database. So in my Geo database, I have imported India city, road and state shapefiles, and that I have displayed here. So this data is coming from Geo database. Now today we are going to see how to work with the selection options. So here you can see there are 3-4 selection options like select, select by attribute and select by location. Let us start from select options. So as soon as I click here in the drop down, there are various selection options to interact with the map and select the features. Like I can drag a rectangle and select the features. So let me just click on this option, and now you can see the cursor has changed, and now when I drag a rectangle on the map, all the features that are intersecting with the rectangle will get selected and will be highlighted with a different color on the map. So let us see how all the features are selected. You can see over here the color of the feature has changed. Now let me just switch off this road layer, and then you will be able to see clearly that there are certain state boundaries which were intersecting with my rectangle. Those have been selected, as well as some of the cities. You can see over here some of the cities which are inside the rectangle are now selected. To unselect the features, here there is an option called clear. If I click that, all the features will be unselected. Now let me show you again. I am keeping only city layers on, and I am dragging a rectangle on the map. You can see, and as soon as I release, all the cities which are inside my rectangle are getting selected. So this is how it works. Okay, let us have a look at the other option. Here there is a polygon option. So it allows me to digitize a polygon on the map. You can see I can keep on clicking and it will design a polygon as per my interaction. And as soon as I double click to release the polygon, all the cities which are inside that polygon will get selected. So I can drag any kind of a shape. So this is the shape I am making. Now when I double click, all the cities which are inside this are selected. So this is the second option. Now let us see lasso. Lasso means it will allow you to draw a freehand sketch. You can see I am just drawing on the map. I can draw any kind of a shape, and as soon as I release, all the cities inside that freehand polygon will get selected. So there is a lasso option. Now circle, another option. So I can just click the center of the map and drag a circle, and all the cities inside that circle will get selected. So this is the circle option. Now there is a line option. Now here line is best suitable for polygon or line, so I am just changing the layer. Now when I digitize a line and double click it, all the states which are intersecting with that line are getting selected on the map. You can see over here I am drawing a line, and these are the states which are crossing the line are now selected on the map. Now I can click on zoom to button so that my map will zoom to the selected feature. Let me just click that, and you can see map has zoomed to the extent of selected feature. I can clear the selection. Now let us see select by attributes. Select by attribute is nothing but firing a query, SQL kind of a query, onto the attribute table and selecting the features which are meeting that criteria. So here I am selecting a layer called road layer. Now here I am trying to create a new selection, and then I have to select the attribute based on which I want to select the feature. For example, type of the road. and here I can select the criteria is equal to, not equal to, begins with, end with. So basically type of a road is a string field, so I have to provide the appropriate criteria. I am right now providing is equal to. Now here either I can just type down or I can click on this drop down, so it will identify all the unique values and list down here, and I can select the value which I want to provide here. So I want to select all the roads with type equal to primary. So let me search if primary is there. Yes, it is there. So what is my query? This is basically a SQL query that I want to select all the features where type attribute is equal to primary. Now let me just click on apply. It will execute the query and result will be displayed on the map. So now let me just close this thing. Now I have to switch on the road layer, and I'll just switch off this. So as you can see, there are multiple features which have been selected. If we open up the attribute table of the road, so as you can see at the bottom, there are 30,898 features which have been selected out of 8,52,000. Now I am closing this attribute table. And what we can do with selected feature, we can perform various actions, like I want to create a new feature class with this selected feature only. So what I can do is right click this layer, and here I can go to data and say export features. So I want to export only primary nodes and create a new feature class. So through attribute query I have selected all the primary nodes, and now I am exporting the primary nodes. So here input feature is India road, and here it is saying the input has a selection record to be processed. So 30,000 selected records will be exported to shapefile, and here I am providing the output path where I want to export the features. So I want to export it into a geodatabase, and I am providing the name. I am clicking on save and say OK. So all the roads which I have selected through query, type is equal to primary, are selected, and they will be exported as a feature class. So I am having a separate layer now for a primary road. So for time being I am switching off this India road layer, and I am switching on this India primary road layer. So you can see all the primary roads are now a separate feature class. Let me give it a different color. For primary roads I am going to property, and I am giving the color maybe this orange color, and I will click on apply. So it will reflect on the map. Yeah, you can see over here it is reflecting on the map. I am just closing this symbology option. So now I am having an India primary road, a separate layer. I am also having an India states layer and India cities. So this is how I can select the feature based on the attributes. Lastly, we will have third option, that is select by location. This is very interesting option. It selects the feature based on the spatial relationship of different layers. Let us see how it works. I am clicking on select by location. Now here I want to select all the cities that are intersecting with the India states. Okay, now I want to select all the cities that are intersecting with the India states, but then I want to use a selected feature. So I am selecting this feature of India states. So here I have selected one of the states of India, and now I want to select all the cities which are inside or intersecting with this selected state only. So I have selected a state here. So here if you look at select by location box, I want to select all the cities that are intersecting with India states, and search distance I am providing 0 meters, and I want to create a new selection. Let me click on apply. So you can see on the map only those cities have been selected which are inside the selected states of India. Now understand that these cities, they are inside which state, that information is not stored in the attribute. It is directly coming from the spatial relationship of the two layers. We have one layer that is called India states, other layer that is called India cities. Both layers are laid on top of each other. So spatially they have one relationship, that they are representing a common geographical area. So GIS software has a capability to overlay two different layers and fire a query that is fetching the result from the interaction of these two layers. So here in our case, city layer is interacting with the state layer, and through their interaction or through their spatial overlay, system in identifying how many cities are inside this particular selected states. So similarly, I can fire different types of queries, like I can select any other state and fire a similar query that I want to identify all the cities which are inside these particular selected states. I can run this query again, and now new set of cities will be selected. If I zoom to selected features, you can see this is the state boundary and these are the cities, multiple cities. If I open the attribute table of the city, I will be able to identify how many cities have been selected. You can see at the bottom 5 out of 220 cities have been selected, matching with this criteria. Now let me just clear this thing, and now I want to fire a different kind of a query. Now in this case, I will select just a single city. I am dragging a rectangle. So a particular city has been selected. Now for India primary rule, I want to clear the selection. So here I'll go to selection and I'll see clear selection. So by chance if there is any feature selected, it will be clear. Now I want to fire a query that I want to select India primary roads that are, now this time I am selecting within a distance of selected city. Now what is the distance? I would say within a distance of say 100 kilometers. So 100 kilometers. So what I am doing now, earlier I was firing an intersecting query. Now this time I am firing a proximity based query that I want to select all the primary roads that are within a distance of 100 kilometers from the selected city. Let me apply this query, and you can see certain number of primary roads have been selected on the map that are within 100 kilometers of these selected cities. I can even open up the attribute table and check out how many primary roads are within 100 kilometers of the selected city, and you can see at the bottom there are 55 primary roads within 100 kilometers of the selected city. So this is how I can fire different type of a query based on the spatial relationship of the feature, and there are multiple this type of queries available, like intersect, within a distance, contains, within, completely within, identical to, touching the boundary. These are the various types of query which I can fire based on the spatial relationship of the feature. I would suggest you to explore different options, like what is the use of have their center in, what is the use of completely within. So you can just think about it, you can try, explore and identify their use cases. So for time being, we will keep it up to this point. We will meet again. Till that time, take care of yourself. Thank you.